Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101. We're going to call it NFL Saturday recap show and the Browns early game and NFL early games update show. And we'll get to all of that. So all the Saturday games, we're going to go recap them all for you and go over all the Browns game and all of today's action. We're going to check out all the games that are going on right now. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101. Week 15 NFL trivia question, and it is a Broncos trivia question because I was trying to do one yesterday. I didn't have a chance, and I'm sorry. And so here it is. What team drafted John Elway at, at the first pick in the 1983 NFL draft? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Uh, well, we had quite an entertaining day of football yesterday in the NFL. And I'll announce those right now. And both my brother, I took Vegas and they won Thursday night, and so did my brother and lost. No, he didn't. Took the Chargers and lost. Uh, but we had an entertaining day. First of all, the Cincinnati Bengals rally from being down 17-3 at halftime to beat the Minnesota Vikings in overtime, 27-24. And and trailing late in the fourth quarter, trailing late in the third quarter, behind an offense that has struggled to move the ball. The Bengals needed Jake Browning to be nearly perfect, and he was. So, and Browning led Cincinnati to three fourth quarter touchdowns and directed the winning drive in overtime in his latest extraordinary performance since taking over for the injured Joe Burrow. And the Bengals beat the Vikings, as I said, 27-24 Saturday to improve their position in the playoff race. Uh, Browning won his third straight start and improved to 3-1. And Burrow suffered a season-ending right wrist injury in a loss at Baltimore. This time he threw for 184 yards, and two touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and overtime, becoming the fourth QB in the past 2 years to throw at least that many yards and two more scores after three quarters. And I feel like I need a beer, Browning said, who beat a team that cut him from its practice squad 2 years ago. And T. Higgins went high over a Vikings defender to get a 16-yard pass from Browning and make a twisting move at the goal line for the tying touchdown with 30 seconds left in the regulation. And Browning, he scrambled in overtime and found Tyler Boyd for a 44-yard completion that got Cincinnati to 8-6 in the Vikings territory and set up Evan McPherson's 29-yard field goal. And the Vikings fell to 7-7. They had led, but they could not hold on to the lead. And boy, Browning had the late game heroics over the game late in the third quarter, throwing seven straight completions during a 75-yard drive for the Bengals. First touchdown, 13-yard strike to Higgins. And on the Bengals' next possession, Browning hit Jamar Chase for 24 yards to convert a third and 21. Joe Mixon's 1-yard TD run on the fourth and goal tied the game at 17-0. But Minnesota pushed back and put an second TD to score TD catch of the game before Browning and Higgins found a way to tie it. So, but they could not they could not hold on to the lead, Minnesota. And the Vikings host Denver next Sunday on the 24th on Christmas Eve, and the Bengals are at Pittsburgh next Saturday. So I know Minnesota's got some work to do, but I got to give the game balls. Just To the Bengals, Jake Browning, 29 and 42 carries and attempts, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, one interception. Joe Mixon, 47 yards, 10 attempts, 1 touchdown. And T. Higgins, 4 receptions, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. So they got some work to do. I took Cincinnati for my brother-in-law Eric Coyle, and we both won on that one. Uh, uh, the uh, the Indianapolis Colts beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-13 yesterday at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And Gardner Minshew really got the most of his start yesterday. Most out of his depleted supporting cast, and the Colts cornerback himself a backup made big plays with backup receivers. He got Indianapolis reserve running backs into play calls that would succeed. It was some of Minshew's finest work and of his entire and perhaps of his entire career and of the season. Uh, Minshew matched his career high with 3 touchdown passes. Indianapolis rushed for 170 yards, and the Colts improved their playoff prospects with a 30-13 win over the sagging Pittsburgh Steelers on Saturday. And they struggled offensively and defensively in this game, uh, and they've been playing losing football, and and Tomlin is being honest about that. Next up for uh, Steelers host the division rival Cincinnati next Saturday, and the Colts are at Atlanta on Christmas Eve next Sunday. And I got to give the game balls to Gardner Minshew. I think it's Michael Pittman and Trey Sermon. And the Steelers struggle just offensively and defensively. And last night, the Detroit Lions walloped the Denver Broncos 42-17. And my brother-in-law and I, we both took Indianapolis and won on that one. And boy, yeah, Detroit walloped them 42-17 in fourth field in Detroit. And Jared Goff and the Lions bounced back from that loss last week and took a step forward, ending a 6-game playoff drought. And Goff matched the career high with 5 touchdown passes, 3 to rookie tight end Sam Laporta. And Detroit routed the Denver Broncos 42-17 last night. Our superpower is how we respond as a team, Goff said. And the Lions are now 10-4 in the season. And Denver just struggled offensively and defensively and held with just 17 points. They were held to just 2 touchdowns and a field goal in this game. And Russell Wilson also struggled as well, despite the fact that he had 2 touchdowns in this game. And yeah, Detroit is 4-0 at night this season with wins over Kansas City, Green Bay, Las Vegas, and Denver. And Detroit could secure a playoff spot on Sunday next week if the Los Angeles Rams lose or along with Tampa Bay loss, or Atlanta loss, or the Broncos or a tie. Excuse me. The Broncos host New England on Sunday, Christmas Eve, and next Sunday the Lions are at Minnesota. But the Broncos, they struggled offensively and defensively. So I give the game balls to Jared Goff, Amon St. Brown, and Jameer Gibbs. They get the game balls for that one. I took Detroit, and my brother-in-law, he took. I got to look here. He took Denver. So right now I'm 4-0. My brother-in-law is 4-2. You get the rest of the picks in just a moment. It's still week 15 of the NFL regular season. We have plenty of great matchups today. The Browns take on the Chicago Bears today. They're taking them on right now at Cleveland Brown Stadium. Joe Flacco will get the start. He is playing right now for the Browns. Once again, Flacco will remain the starter for the rest of the season. Now, the Browns will be without several key players uh, for today's game against the Bears. The Browns have suffered an unprecedented number of injuries. They are already down starting tackles Jedrick Wills and Dewan Jones for the rest of the season. Now, a report revealed that center Ethan Pollack will also miss the next game due to a neck stinger. So right now the Browns are, and so that's why. And right now the Browns are down 17-7, and it's just getting underway in the fourth quarter. And they need to score if they want to get the win. Oh, and the Browns just got a false start on them at first and 10 at the Cleveland 28, and uh, and it was a penalty on Christian uh, on guard and false start, and is a force at the Cleveland Cleveland for uh, uh, at the Cleveland 33, I think the and oh, excuse me. No, I'm trying to find the guy with the last name Christian. Maybe it was the Bears that got that. And I'm having trouble finding it. And maybe it's the Brown. I know the Browns, but the Browns are down 17-7 in the fourth, and there's 13:47 left to go. And Joe Flacco has 19 and 33 carries and attempts, 224 yards, one touchdown, three interceptions. And it was Jerome Ford, left guard, who had that penalty pushed out of bounds at the Chicago 8 for 2 yards. And the penalty was on Michael Dunn for offensive holding and was minus 8 yards enforced at the Chicago 10. And Joe Flacco passed short right to David Njoku to the Chicago 15 for 3 yards. And right now it's a fourth and 10 at the Chicago 15. And we need to score right here, boys. And but the Browns have just been held to one touchdown so far in this game. And that touchdown, let me see, that came in the first quarter, in the second quarter, excuse me. And a lot of three and outs today in this game. First quarter and a couple in the second quarter. And then it was 7-0 Bears, and the Browns tied it at 7-7. And then they it was 13-7 with the interception, and then the estimate was 14. And then it was 14-7. And now it's 17-7. And right now that's where we stand. And right now they're about to kick a field goal right now. So it's now 17-10 Chicago. Now, if we can get the ball, and it is good. Yes, the field goal is good. It's 17-10. Hopefully, the Browns get the ball back. We could tie it up, get six, go for 2-point conversion. So, uh, we will see. Now it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Week 15 trivia question. And it is a Broncos trivia question. It was for yesterday. Something must be for today. What team drafted John Elway as the first pick in the 1983 NFL Draft? If you said the Baltimore Colts, you are correct. The Colts drafted John Elway as their first pick in the 1983 NFL Draft, and in the first round. And before, as we know, before he was on, he became a member of the Denver Broncos. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now it's time for the other games and the picks of the week. Excuse me just for a moment. I just knocked my pick book over. I'm sorry. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I got to get myself back on camera here. And right now, the Atlanta Falcons on the fourth with a minute 54 left to go. It's 7-6 Atlanta. I mean, yeah, and Carolina has the ball. Second and third, second and six at the Atlanta 11. And Chicago's about to kick off. It's going to be a kickoff, and they've got the ball. And it's 17-10 Bears. Hopefully the Browns can get the ball back and score. Uh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are beating the Green Bay Packers 34-20 right now with 4 left to go in their fourth quarter. It's a fourth and 2 at the Green Bay 41. Bucks have the ball. It's a shutout in Miami as Miami is just walloping the Jets, manhandling them 30-0 in the fourth quarter with 6:53 left to go. 3rd and 16 at the Miami 44. Miami has the ball. And it's 24-6 Saints at the Superdome, at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's 3rd and 10 at the Giants 36. Giants have the ball. The Titans and Texans are tied at 16. Houston came back from being down 13-6 at halftime and has tied it up with 2:51 left to go in the fourth. And the Kansas City Chiefs are beating the Patriots 27-17 in the fourth with 5:47 to go. KC has the ball. It's second and third to KC 39. Late afternoon game. San Francisco plays Arizona at State Farm Stadium. The Commanders face the Rams at SoFi. Dallas plays Buffalo, which that's one of the games of the week. Sunday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens are in Jacksonville taking on the Jaguars. And Monday Night Football, the Philadelphia Eagles are taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Right now, 17-10, 31. I think the Bears have the ball. And there's 11:25 left to go in the fourth. Hopefully the Browns can come rally and get the win in this game. That's about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Saturday, NFL Saturday, NFL Football Saturday postgame show and Browns NFL early games week 15 update show. I'll be back with the postgame show for all the early games and the Browns game once all the Browns and the early games have concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.